Some HIV and AIDS patients on the home-based care program in Chitungwiza, a dormitory town 35 kilometers from Harare, are in desperate need of food and medication to survive. Recently, ATV accompanied some caregivers from a local voluntary home-based organization to visit some of these patients and witnessed a desperate situation.
Home-based care program yethu sihlangana lezigulane ezithize abantu abaphila lengculaza abale BP abale chuyela inengi labo ikakhulu abagula ngengculaza yilabo abahlangana lokuthi nxa sebenatha amaphilisi abo kwesesikhathi baba lama side effects ukuthi abanye baba lezilonda abanye babe lokukhulelwa zinyawo ngokwazo abanye babe behluleke sibili ukuthi basabele emithini yabo abayinathayo
impela zokubatsira zvakaita vana magloves sipo nemafuta achekuvazora kuti vasaite mabed sores kuti havachagoni kuzvibatsirisa totoita kutopura vanga vaita tichibvisa.
Matthias Mushandu, who is also living positively with HIV, also appealed for help.
Kumbira manje ku Ministry of Health ndechekuti batu akaita sana leso ane track record yakanaka akwanise kupa varwere vavo mishonga pachezvavo.
The home-based care organization, Life Empowerment Support Organization, LESO, run by former nurses, some of whom are HIV positive, appealed for transport and protective clothing to help them carry out their work. Due to lack of transport, the caregivers have to walk around Chitungwiza to visit patients.
Due to the limited resources, we are also limited to go there because we don't have transportation. We are also wanted in places like Karanda. We are trying to organize another branch there. It's another branch which is upcoming. So there is need for home-based care assistance for our clients and ourselves as well. We want ourselves to be taken care of, like care of the carers.
LESO founder Olive Mtaveni said they are attending to 1,937 patients, out of which 144 are bedridden in Chitungwiza and Rua, another town 23 kilometers from Harare. Meanwhile, LESO has extended its voluntary services to Sekero district and Chinoi, 120 kilometers northwest of Harare, where they are offering counseling and training services to volunteer caregivers for free. There are almost 2 million Zimbabweans living with HIV and AIDS, while over 3,000 are dying every week due to HIV and AIDS-related illnesses. I am Crispin Tavura reporting for ATV in Harare, Zimbabwe.
Traditional healers claiming to perform all sorts of miracles in people's lives are on the increase in Harare's capital, with many people flocking to them for assistance. The healers claim to have traditional medicines to enhance male organs, win back lost lovers, get job promotions, pass examination, win court cases, boost one's business and improve fertility in women, among others. Some of them have now resorted to advertising their services in public to woo customers. One such traditional healer is Tinashe Madziwa, popularly known as Mr. White from Kuwadzana, some 20 kilometers south of Harare.
Kunyanya ma libido problems, nema organ enlargement. Ndo vanhu vanonyanya kubatsirwa zvakanyanya. Iyi ndo inoita long lasting erection, inoshandiswa nevarume. Ndiyo long lasting erection, ita sexual excitement, ita big size. Kanchiro ti big size ndiyo ndinoti organ enlargement. Right, Twitter for this one. This one is for the ladies. In the hip hop cream. You need my hips. You need my buttocks. The hips and buttocks. You also massage after bath when you're home. That's how it works.
However, Peter Sivanda, a member of the Zimbabwe National Traditional Healers Association, has dismissed such people as bogus. Harare residents expressed mixed feelings about the new phenomenon.
First of all, in the absence of empirical evidence in terms of studies that either support or disprove what they say, I can only say that my opinion is people who use them, I would classify them as people who have a very low self-esteem They don't think highly of themselves, and therefore they look for alternative methods of enhancing themselves.
I don't think it's necessarily right to think that someone who would want to enhance themselves in any way has low self-esteem. Anything that can make you feel better, I think it's brilliant that there's alternatives actually there and people can go out and seek treatment. Whether they work or not is another thing, but just to have the option of bettering yourself in any way.
In 2007, a traditional healer in Snake Park, about 25 kilometers from Harare, popularly known as Sekuri Sweet Sugar, made headlines following a sharp demand for his love charms. He became so popular among women that at one point he reportedly attended to an average of 150 clients per day. Some of the women who were coming from as far as South Africa, Malawi and Zambia. At one point, he ran out of love potions following a sharp rise in demand for his services. With the country still recovering from almost a decade of recession, many desperate people are now turning to traditional and faith healers for a quick fix to their problems. Whether these potions really work or not depends solely on one's belief. Robert Abmane reporting for ATV in Harare, Zimbabwe.
Poachers are threatening the survival of Zimbabwe's bell-hinged tortoise, which is now endangered across the country. The animal has disappeared from swaths of its habitat, taken by poachers for consumption and the supply of illicit pet trade. Wild numbers of the tortoise have fallen drastically, putting them in the red category of threatened species.
Yes, we are slowly running out of them, and we believe we have to protect them. We have not applied this yet to CITES, but as far as Zimbabwe is concerned, we believe we have to include them in one of those species that are fast depleting. What happens is, depends on individuals why they are doing that. Look at the crocodiles. At some point we were running short of crocodiles until we decided that if we do crocodile farming, we increase the species. And as we speak now, everywhere, north, east, west, we have crocodile farms, and it has helped us bring back the numbers. And in actual fact, in some areas we're overpopulated, and they are becoming a problem to our livestock. So yes, we can always use that.
Trade in the species is banned, but thousands of the animals are still being killed and smuggled out of the country illegally. Some local communities hunt tortoises for food, but the greatest threat comes from foreigners visiting the country who illegally export the tortoises. Animal experts say a tortoise can fetch $1,000 on the pet and exotic reptile market, a price that drives the unsustainable trade.
A lot of animals have been killed this year, and also that is also moving into our own country. It's very disturbing because if you look at our economy as a region as well, it's also based on ecotourism. We are privileged to have such species, you know, and I'm sure it will be very important that such species survive, not only for ecotourism reasons, but also, you know, as biodiversity. So it's important, I think, that some measures are taken, especially against poachers.
In February this year, 4 Chinese nationals were arrested on cruelty charges after they cut up and ate rare tortoises. Parks and wildlife investigators found 40 skeletons, 13 live tortoises, and tortoise meat when they raided a house in southern Zimbabwe. The Bell's hingeback is a tropical tortoise found in Central and Southern Africa. It is distinguished by its shell that can close over its back legs as protection when it feels danger. The remaining animals are in very isolated and fragmented populations in very low numbers and are unlikely to breed into bigger populations. If nothing is done soon to save the tortoise population, the trafficking of these rare and exotic creatures will continue unabated, threatening Zimbabwe's biodiversity. Sifela Nitsiko reporting for ATV.